discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will.
Yes, indeed. Forget all your differences and let we, the pronoun we, start to build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, another opportunity that we have to converse. And I'm still suffering from the Callaloo. In fact, the name given to the flu or the cold is the Callaloo. I am somewhat surprised they did not say you have the Callaloo or the dashing leaf, but they call it the Callaloo. And quite a number of people have the Callaloo, the cold. But we have to continue the mission. We have to continue the advocacy. We cannot stop. And that is exactly what I am saying. We have to keep moving and reminding our people about the good things that are happening in our country. Today I saw a little real short video with work starting at Malmont on the St. David Catholic Secondary School. And I was very, very happy. In fact, the teacher who teaches there came by earlier today and said to me, well, I have a little video to show you. And then I saw it on our beloved Prime Minister's Facebook page, a little reel of a little work that is being done at Malmont on that school. Right? And that's really, really great that project has started. I know they wanted workers. I know they talked about it. They wanted workers. So workers actually started there. And remember, that school, the contract was signed. It was $40.6 million.
St. David's Catholic Secondary School, ready to build.
Right. So, no, I was looking for actual news piece dealing with that $40.6 million. All right. I was looking for that piece dealing with the school itself. All right. Excuse me. I was looking for that MTV piece or that GIS piece. It was a very short piece. I was looking for it. Sorry for the little coughing and so on, but I can't help it. It's that cold. I could tell you it's bad, but I'm getting over it. All right. Yeah, I saw it somewhere.
The ceremonial saw turn-in for the construction of the brand new EC 40.6 million St. David's Catholic Secondary School was held at its new site in Malmont, St. David. The ceremony was attended by government officials, contractors, students, teachers, and community members. It is funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and the Government of Grenada as part of the Grenada Education Enhancement Project and aims to provide modern, resilient learning spaces for hundreds of students. The contract for the project was officially signed on Thursday, July 3rd, and will be supervised by Beston Consulting, while construction is being carried out by Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited. Addressing the ceremony was Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, citing that the school serves as a catalyst.
This school will also serve as a catalyst for the overall enhancement and development of Malmont and its surrounding areas. I know comments have been made about the fact that it is off-road. Well, I always think high schools should be off-road. I don't know that you want to hear big trucks and cement trucks and concrete trucks zooming past your classroom. We have beaches located not too far from here. We have significant farmers and farming community located in the immediate environments. We have a community center located next door. We have the Malmont playing field, which we will continue to develop and enhance, located immediately next door.
Teacher at the school for the last 20 years, Delia Noel, spoke of some of the present challenges experienced at the school's current location.
Access in terms of the location of the school and the topography and how exhausting it can be being at the current venue where we are. Like it's the terrain, it's hilly, and there's 3 floors and it's extremely tiring having to go from that technical wing that we have at the bottom, even the court below. So on a daily basis, it's almost like regular exercise essentially, but it could be very exhausting to get from one floor to the next.
Students at the St. David's Catholic School say they are excited about the new school.
I'm quite excited that the construction and everything has actually started. It's been long awaited, and yeah, just excitement for now.
I think it's a good development, and that it's very modernized, and it is a good development for students and staffs.
According to Prime Minister Mitchell, the project is estimated to be completed in February of 2027.
Right.
For MTV,
And they have actually started already, and that is why I showed you that little piece there. They started grading, the area, and that's good. Excuse me. Boy, Kalalu bad. And that AC making it worse. All right. So, yeah, I was in the AC for quite a while because I was on right along a while ago. And then I came on our usual program, The Hub. So, things are happening for our people, right? Jobs are being created. Opportunities are being created. So, we have the St. David Catholic Secondary School. Then we have the St. Andrew Anglican School. Then we have the Grenada Christian Academy School, right? So quite a number of schools started already, and it's a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars, right? So let me feature another one here for you. You're talking about St. David's Catholic Secondary School. That's $40.6 million. The St. Andrew Anglican School. Let me see here. Oh boy. Let me get that one.
Step or try and fit in another class while they're having their subject.
The St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School on Victoria Street, Grenville, was damaged by Hurricane Ivan in 2004 and later destroyed by fire. Staff and students then used a temporary school facility in Grenville for more than a decade.
Well, first of all, the buildings were leaking. In the old school, the buildings were leaking and bad. Students were getting wet all the time, and it had flooded.
In September 2022, more suitable facilities were erected at Progress Park, St. Andrew, and the school was temporarily relocated at the start of the Michaelmas term while awaiting a permanent home for the school. On Tuesday, May 16, 2023, stakeholders from the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary and the St. David's Catholic Secondary Schools gathered for an update from the architectural firm designing the new schools. These designs took into consideration stakeholders' suggestions and feedback given during the consultation process. Therefore, stakeholders were able to view a virtual school tour of the two proposed structures, and further details were provided by Beston Consulting. Stakeholders from the two schools were also given the opportunity to share their feedback and further suggestions. Senior structural engineer at Beston Consulting, Jade Brown, gave more information.
And we deal in particular with the Grenada Tree Schools project, or the Grenada School Enhancement project. So I was ready to present some work that we would have been doing for the ministry for just over 2 years now. So that would have been all through COVID and through to now. And just we are constantly engaging with the stakeholders, but as the design is getting closer and closer to completion, you find that you want to always get closer with the stakeholders so that when you finish build, they're not surprised. We would have brought a number of conceptual designs to them, which would have shown them the proposed spaces, the sizes of the classrooms, the sizes of the different work areas and how they interact with each other. What they should expect is exactly what we've agreed to and what we're committed to in our contract with them.
Principals, teachers, a PTA representative, and students who were present at the meetings are both pleased and excited with what they've seen. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Stakeholders at the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School shared their thoughts.
My name is Tillon Mitchell. I am the PTA president for the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School. I'm pretty excited because I know where St. Andrew's Anglican, where we're coming from, where we are now, and what we're expecting for the future. Overall, I think it's just having the students be in a comfortable area where they can learn and where they can grow and just, evolve.
Mitchell shared what she believes will be a highlight for parents.
Well, first, I think maybe the play area. Just being able to relax in a comfortable area where we know that we are in St. Andrews, in the town, and so just knowing that our children are secured in building, they don't have to go outside necessarily to play or even for games. They have that open area there. We're also looking at the fact that we're going to have a place for agriculture in a sense. We're happy about that too. The sitting area, the sitting arrangement in the classroom, I think students are going to be more comfortable. And in that, learning too will, hopefully will be easier for them. There's so much, just looking at the design today, there's so much to be happy and grateful for. I looked at the settings for the principal's office. I think that to me was really, well laid out. Just the fact that she's able to look over the entire school, or whoever else will be principal after her. It always seems to be the school that is left behind. And I think, just given the opportunity now to have a great school, as Ms. Rodney said again, one of the best schools now in St. Andrews and in Grenada, we really look forward to the accomplishment. The final just stepping into that building is what we're really looking forward to.
My name is Jasper John. I am in grade 5H. I attend the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School and I am 11 years old. I feel they would really love the playing area and the size of the classrooms. But first of all, you have more space for them to play around and run around. And in the classroom, instead of they have to be jammed up with other students around them, they have more space to move around and other stuff. Well, the assembly hall. What do you like? It is much bigger and more spacious. Well, they are about to get a bigger and better new school with more space for them to play.
I am Jennifer Rodney Lewis. I am the acting principal of the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary School. The design we would have seen before, and we would have made some suggestions as to what we would have liked to see and not see. And we're happy because most of what we would have discussed, we would have seen it being acted upon. And this in itself is good news. They can expect a really modernized school, probably the best on island. It is a school that would be a model school. We have classrooms that would be within the institution that would accommodate the amount as stipulated, 25 classrooms. We have our assembly hall, we have our labs where we'll be harvesting water, which I'm happy about. It would be solar powered. And although we would be in the town area, from what we have seen, it would be nicely seated within the environment. I've been working for 34 years at St. Anthony Primary School, and we have never enjoyed a staff room. We have never had a lab. We have never really have a gym area, and this in itself is great news. And teachers would be happy to have their own classrooms, and we would have a nice play area. We would have a nice assembly hall, and this would be really nice for the persons who would be enjoying the facility, because these are things that we have never seen at the St. Anthony Primary School. I am happy that this is the final design, and if all goes well, it would be tendered, and we were promised that by the last quarter of the year, construction can start.
My name is Julian Alexander, and I teach at St. Andrews Anglican Primary School. Today I was very pleased at the design and the layout, especially having the opportunity to look at the video presentation where you could actually see the size of the classroom, the layout, and everything else like that. I was especially pleased with the environmental and the green initiative where we'll be collecting our own water. We have our green space and everything else. So the design is awesome. So I'm looking forward to a really good project when it comes to the end.
Alexander is also pleased with the classroom size and the cafeteria area. She thinks the students will be elated. Looking back at the many challenges over the years, she is relieved.
I'm really happy to know that our time has finally come.
Meanwhile, stakeholders at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School voiced similar sentiments.
My name is Jonathan Regis. I'm in Form 4 and I attend the St. David Catholic Secondary School. My first impression, the school looked very interesting. They made a new design. I also saw that they added a playground. I saw they added a lot of new rooms for various subjects. I like that it have a basketball court, like a area in between the school. Yeah, I like that it's 3 stories as well.
He also appreciates that there were poles for the national flag and thinks students would gravitate to the playground addition and be pleased with the extra space provided. Jonathan believes the location of the new school is suitable. His only concern was whether transportation to the site would be available, given the distance from the main road. Popular Calypsonian and long-standing teacher at the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, Edison Francis, also known as Teacher Eddie, shared his feelings regarding the development.
Well, from the first time the initial idea was brought forward for the new school, I was elated, especially when I saw the drawings, the initial drawing. Today what we had here is just a presentation, a 3D format, which gives a lot more excitement because you get to see the real, what it would be, the final product. You know, and I'm happy that things have been done because I've been teaching at the school for 22 years. And since I came there, we were talking about a new school. So anything that can be done now to make that materialize, I'm happy. Although, I mean, I won't be there to experience it, but because I'm about to retire. But I'll feel good about it. One of the things that I noticed with the new plan is that you have a whole technical wing. So you have 3 levels, 3 floors. And on one floor, you would have, for example, building and furniture technology, electronics and technical drawing that being done on one floor. Then on the next floor, you would have IT and science being done there. And on the top floor, you would have home management, food and nutrition, and clothing and textiles. So you have a whole wing area for the technical subjects, and that's a good thing. So I'm happy with what I'm seeing.
Member of the Catholic Church Board, Bishop Clyde Harvey, also weighed in on the discussion.
Well, I'm very happy that we've been able to have this presentation because we've been asking about this for the last 6 years. And finally we have it. And we have an impressive presentation, one that generally speaking seems to be meeting the various suggestions that have been made by the stakeholders, particularly in terms of the school community itself. And I have a sense of, particularly on the staff side, a certain excitement about the project. But I would really want to see people having a sense within the St. David's community of this as something that they can build together, for instance, whoever the contractor is, to make sure that a certain amount of employment comes to the St. David's community, so that when the time comes to bless the new school, that people of St. David's will turn out in their hundreds, saying to themselves, this is our Catholic secondary school.
With regard to the site, Bishop Harvey notes that some people who had objections to the chosen location have since changed their perspective and are on board with the choice.
From this meeting today, what we expect is that the ministry would send us some sort of formal communication indicating what the conversations, what came out of the conversations. So we would take guidance from the ministry on, how much of the needs could be met and so. And from there, then we would plug that into our design. Of course, the implications of any change could mean some time working to get to the end, but we hope to get to the end quickly. We're pretty much close to having documents that are workable and they could be used as contract documents. So once we get to that point where everybody's happy and the documents are now complete, then it's ready to go out to tender and may the best contractor win.
Once final stakeholder consultations are held in the coming weeks and other official business has concluded, steps to realize the actual construction of the St. David's Catholic Secondary and the St. Andrew's Anglican Primary Schools will begin.
So I'm happy to know that finally we are getting a school of noble worth.
For GIS News, I'm Annette Moore.
Yes, so folks, I decided to play the entire thing so you can see. So in the coming, 1 year and a half, you will see 3 new schools. The St. David Catholic Secondary School at Malmont. You will also see the St. Andrew Anglican Primary School in Grenville, and you would see the Grenada Christian Academy, right, at Pearls. And all of these 3 projects, they have started. And if you do the math, you would realize it's an injection of 100 and, all right, so 40.6 million. 40.6 million is the St. David Catholic Secondary School. 26.5 million is the St. Andrew Anglican School. The Grenada Christian Academy is 27.4 million. So you're talking 40, 80, 93, 94.5. So you're talking $94.5 million. With those 3 schools, that's $94.5 million. And then the Callist Government School, I think it's about 3.5. It's a new block. The Callist Government School, $3.5 million. So if you add that, 3.5 million, you're looking at $98 million. All right. The Callist, excuse me, the Callist Government School, 3.5 million. It's a new block.
The construction of a new block to be added to the Callist Government School on Tuesday, July 22nd at the school grounds in Callist, St. George.
It's a good investment, a good venture for the children. They're gonna be a lot happier. The parents gonna be a lot happier. The community gonna be a lot happier. Especially the toilets for the smaller ones. Yeah, that's an eye opener. I mean, I wish and I hope all the other schools could have that, because remember, you have the little one. As for her, when she goes to use it, she have to hold on to it, touch it. Once it's their side, it wouldn't be a problem.
The contract for building the preschool at Callist Government was awarded to Collaborative Designs and Consultancy Grouping Limited, owned and managed by Christopher Wint. The new concrete structure will replace a wooden building that had been utilized since the passage of Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Janelle Fletcher, teacher at the school for almost 10 years, is thrilled at the upgrade in facilities.
Okay, well, when I started here, my classroom was in the wooden structure. I can say it was really terrible. It was really small and hot because the galvanized was, every time the sun strike on the galvanized, we'll feel it in the classroom. The chairs will be hot, the tables will be hot, the children will be sweating. Parents seeing that, they sponsored some fans. Persons from the Muslim community also sponsored ceiling fans for us to help us and so on. And then we did not have toilet facilities. So every time we had to take the children up to the top school to use the toilet facilities, and it was not at their level. So it was very difficult to do. Luckily, we got toilet facilities in the back of the school, and because of that, we were thankful, but because of that, the windows at the back were condemned. So now we weren't getting any breeze from the back. So we only had the one window at the front and the door. So, it was like an oven in there constantly. And then the flooring was shaky. And in preschool, we're always moving, we're always doing those things. So every time the children run and so on, the building will shake. When rain was coming, we'll have leaks in the roof. So It was really horrible. When they said it's enough, we cannot use the building anymore, we had to come over to this new wing here, but we weren't in a classroom for ourselves. We're still not in a classroom for ourselves. So knowing that we're getting this new wing, we're excited and we're happy. I'm thinking about all the different things I can put in my classroom. I was there and I was so happy seeing that they catered to the preschoolers and the washroom facilities and all those things. Preschool is my passion, and I've recently finished Teachers College, just came back in September, and I'm super excited.
The project is funded by the government of Grenada under the School Rehabilitation and
Right. So that's $3.5 million. Then we had the SDA comprehensive expansion was done there too. Then the Seventh Adventist school in Archibald Avenue, some work is being done there too. Government pumping some resources and other donors pumping some resources. The new block at the Tivoli RC school. Then you have a lab being constructed. I wonder if it's at the Granway Government School. And one, I think, at Bonnet. But a number of schools. I mean, plenty things are happening. And I'm talking about construction taking place. So right now, men and women are at work. And that is something that people are overlooking. These projects are creating jobs for our people, hundreds of jobs. I mean, besides people building their own homes, because a lot of construction is taking place in Grenada. I'm telling you because I know. You speak to the firms who supply building materials, they would tell you they're super excited, right? A lot of activities taking place in the economy. But when you look at education, a lot is happening there. I said on the Ride Along program, I'm happy that 200 plus teachers have been made permanent because they were temporary, right? So things are happening for the education sector in the country and the healthcare sector and agriculture. And we can go on and on and on. Opportunities are being created for our people. And I am super excited. This government is at work. They are working for our people. The gentleman on Ride Along asked, what is Build Back Better? And I told him, go and speak to that family whose house was destroyed by Hurricane Beryl or partially damaged by Hurricane Beryl and received a new home, brand new, painted, electrical work done, plumbing work done, the bathroom facility, well done. Go and speak to that family. And they would tell you what Build Back Better means to them. That is important. So things are happening. And as I said this morning, nearly all the social safety net programs are still running, up and running and functioning. The seed program, where people get, $500. Because remember, the NDC administration increased that amount of money to 500. Some get 300. That continues, right? I think the last, today's Tuesday. So from Monday, or from today, they started distributing or disbursing the funds. And they would continue throughout the week. Then you have the debushing program that continues. You have hundreds of people getting a contract, right, to supervise or to debush, to cut the bush and so on. School will open or reopen in September the 1st. This is a big thing for many people. So again, the government continues to pump millions back into the economy in the hands of ordinary people so they can buy their books, buy their school uniforms. And mind you, there is the uniform and school supplies program where families again will be receiving $450, $150, $100, $250, just name it, to help with uniform and school supplies. Then the free tuition policy where parents are assisted. Their child or children going to TAMCC, they don't have to worry about the tuition. The free hot meal program, right? Your child don't have to worry about getting a hot meal to put in that stomach. Then you have the free, well, not free, but the school bus program, where a bus, at concessionary rates, meaning that they're not paying too much, but a bus will pick them up from home, drop them to school, drop them back home safely. The school bus pilot project that is ongoing. So things are happening for people. Parents don't have to worry. Around this time, the NNP will be making a lot of noise. I listened to, what's her name again? Fake Lynn, Faith Lynn, what's her name? This woman. I listened to her, Emlyn, I think her name is, right? I think her name is Emlyn, on that program this morning. And not many people viewed the program. People are not even really interested in listening to this woman because 3/4 of what she said just didn't make sense. Some people say 99% of what she said didn't make sense. But she was just complaining and grinding and groaning and terrible. Excuse me. Terrible to say the least. But at the end of the day, Grenadians are happier. Things are happening for people. It's not a perfect system. All cannot happen overnight, but things are happening for people step by step by step. And we have to give credit to the government. We have to give credit to the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, because the NNP, they doubted their potential. They had all kind of bad things to say about this young team. But we are seeing today the vision of this team. They are not whooping. They're operating with a plan. We are seeing the plan come true before our very eyes. And we must be proud of them. I sat, because of the Kalaloo or the cold, I woke earlier than usual. Normally, I will be up 5 o'clock. I'll go and jog, kind of early every morning. So I was up kind of earlier, and I came to the studio, and I was, just thinking and saying, I have not heard in the last 3 years of any con man, any crook, any blue-eye man who came in Grenada and conned the government. During the NNP time, the amount of con men and crooks that came here and conned the NNP administration of millions and millions and millions of dollars, and none of them went to jail, none of them arrested, none of them charged. We have not had that in the last 3 years of the NDC. It's just a breath of fresh air. It's just different. The governance style is just totally, totally different. It's a real turning of a chapter. It's amazing. And I attempted to go back and look at some of the conmen and crooks that came into Grenada, because I will do a program very soon again, reminding our Grenadian people about all the convestors and crooks that came in Grenada under the NNP administration and took millions and millions and millions of dollars from us. Monies that we could have used to do a lot of things today. I listened to part of this woman interview. What's her name? Emlyn. her interview on GBN. And mind you, she's afraid of people calling in and ask her questions. She's a coward. And she keeps saying the former administration, the former administration, the former administration. And I'm saying, but wait, what's she really trying to achieve? She wants people to believe that she was not a part of the former administration, that she was not a part of the Keith Mitchell-led administration. I don't know if it's a strategy on her part, or she keep repeating that over and over and over again. And I kind of question it, saying to myself, but why are you not saying the NNP administration that you were a part of? But she keeps saying over and over the former administration. You see, for me, I listen to hear certain things because I can pull certain things out of a conversation, right? And it might be different from other people because I am politically astute. I've been around this long enough. I'm saying, folks, it might be a strategy that she has, that she wants people to believe, especially the young people. Maybe she wants them to believe that she was not a part of the NNP administration. But this woman was a part of the NNP for the greater part of the 20-something years of the NNP. I attempted to search to find out how many times she won, right? Under the NNP. Because I remember she was a senator, right? I remember she was a senator. And then she was elected as a member of parliament. So all right, let me see. So she has been a member of the House of Parliament since 2013, but she was appointed to the Senate since 2003. See, I'm a student of history, right? So she was appointed to the Senate. So she was a senator, first and foremost, because I remember that vividly. She was a senator in 2003. That's a long time ago. That's about 22 years ago? She was a senator. And then in 2013, when, remember, NDC came into power in 2008. So between 2008 and 2013, it was NDC, right? But she was a senator from 2003 up to, let me see, right? She was a senator from 2000 and, right, at the age of 28. Nice. So she was a senator from that point. And I want to believe that from 2003 to NNP losing the election in 2008, I want to believe she was a senator within that period. Stand to be corrected, right? But I want to believe she was a senator throughout that period. And then NDC came into power. And then NDC lost in 2013. She then was elected in 2013. And she went all the way up. And I still want to believe she ran in 2008. I want to believe so, right? And she lost. I think she lost against Patrick Simmons. I stand to be corrected. But she been around long. The point I'm making, she been around long. In the 2 decades, in the 23 years and a half of Keith Mitchell being in power and NNP being in power, Emlyn Pear been around for approximately 20 years of that, and it might be even more. So she's been around a long time. So when she speaks on programs and she keeps saying the former administration this and the former administration that and the former, she is afraid of even mentioning the New National Party administration or the Keith Mitchell-led administration or the NNP government. She's afraid of mentioning that because she's associated with that. And I think it's a strategy on her part to do those things, to speak that way, because she wants the young to forget that she was a part of this mess, the NNP mess. Because the NNP was really a curse, in my belief, on this country. But that's something that I have red flagged or identified. She doesn't want to be associated with the NNP of the past. So she keeps saying former administration, because you realize Keith Mitchell is being talked about more than her. Keith Mitchell is being featured more than her. We rarely see or hear her. If you ask people who is the leader of the opposition, they might say Keith Mitchell and not this woman. But we must associate her with NNP, with the Keith Mitchell-led administration, with the former administration, which is the NNP administration. We need to remind the young people that Emlyn Pear is not new to the NNP. She has been there with the NNP for donkey years with Keith Mitchell. So she can't try to distance herself from Keith Mitchell now or the NNP old brand, excuse me, or the NNP stale brand. No, nope. So we have to make sure and connect the dots, and remind the young people that this woman is not new. She has been around with NNP for all these years. NNP mess up this place, in my belief, and she has to own it. Own it. So again, I am saying, I just reflected for the last so many years, we were so accustomed, meaning the last 20-something years of NNP, we were accustomed to every Monday morning hearing about some convestor, some crook, some thief coming to Grenada with all kind of briefcase, white eye, white skin, many of them tricking the NNP administration of millions and millions of dollars. And none of them went to jail. None. But it's a breath of fresh air. It's a new type of governance. Under the NDC, we have not heard of any conman, any crook that came to Grenada in the last 3 years of NDC and conned the government of any money. If there is anybody out there who could prove otherwise, call me. If anybody out there could prove otherwise, call me and tell me. I would love to hear, because the facts are clear. The evidence is clear. Under the NNP administration, we lost over $400 million. Easy, right? Easy dollars. Because convestors and crooks came here and they tricked the NNP administration. And I will do a detailed program reminding the young in particular, one that would be produced in such a way that you can play it for them, detailing some of the convestors and crooks that came in under the NNP administration and con the NNP administration of taxpayers' money millions of dollars, monies that we could have used to fix roads and schools and bridges, health centers, help our young people, help the farmers, help the fishers. They're just gone. No wonder this woman is on a program and she doesn't want to associate herself with the NNP administration and what happened in the past. But we must remind the Grenadian people. We have to connect her to the past and to the NNP of the past because they have not changed. They're the same. They're the same. Folks, I want to say to you, registration is key. I said so this morning, and I'll say it again. Registration is key. If you come in for Christmas, because a lot of you came for Carnival and you got registered, I know that. If you're coming for Christmas, I want to urge you to do the same thing. Register. If you're here in Grenada and you turn 18, register to vote. It's easy. Go with your birth certificates or a Grenadian passport, and you're good to go. All right? Registration is key. To win an election, it is a numbers game. You know, today, as I was watching Emlyn Pair on GBN, to the point, I realized it was just about 25 people viewing on Facebook, right? And then I went on YouTube, a similar thing. So, you know, I give it some time, and I went back on Facebook, and I realized only 505 people also viewed her on GBN on Facebook, and 1,600 people viewed that program on YouTube. And I could tell you, I could be certain, the majority of people who viewed that program, they were NDC supporters. But here it is. Even if you say these people listen, right? In total, 2,000 people listen to her, or 2,100. Do you know that we have 91,000 plus people who are registered to vote? Let me repeat that. Today, I looked at Emlyn Pair on the GBN to the point program. And there was about 25 people viewing that program at the time when I looked. But for me, you know, I would give it some time. When the program finished, I went back, maybe about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And I looked, and I realized just about 505 people who actually viewed her on that program on Facebook. On YouTube, 1,600 people or so viewed her on YouTube, on GBN page there, or channel. I have the code. And that's about 2,100 or so people. But do you know, 91,000 people are registered to vote? 91,000 plus people. So they believe by talking to 2,000 people, they believe by talking to 5,000 people, that they're getting somewhere with their negativity, with their misinformation, with their disinformation, with their lies. They're not. They're not making an impact. They're not. And that is why I say to people, Grenadians have turned the page called the NNP. Grenadians no longer want to see the NNP in government. That brand is tainted for life. That brand is buried politically. And that is why, tactically, this Emlyn lady is trying to distance herself from the NNP, the former NNP administration, and the Keith Mitchell-led administration. So you have to understand what is at play. and follow the dots and draw it, draw on the dots, and you're going to realize the strategy that they're using. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. And yes, it is tough with the coal, the Kalalu. That's the name of the coal. But the mission has to continue. I do this program solo. I have nobody who could step in, right? Solo. And during the carnival, I interacted with great many people, a lot of people. So, you understand. All right? It's expected. And there are a lot of people who are battling the cold, and I wish them all the best, speedy recovery. And I know it's bad. All right? I drank Zebopik, Big Time, Black Stage, Rob Dung with Vicks, and all Albazole in nose and, Panadol, and drank lemon and water and drank orange juice, pure orange, right? Squeeze it just so with lime mix. And there's a lot of remedy. Drank boiled clove and cinnamon and ginger. But still, it ain't easy, tough. But we have to continue the mission, educating our people, disseminating credible information to our people. The mission must continue. Remain in focus. All right? Every day it will not be easy. I give you a typical example. Normally, I would do a pledge program at the end of the month. So like last month, I didn't do a pledge program. So I sent messages to the usual givers. Some people say yes. Some said, things are a bit tough. They can't give and that kind of thing. So it was extremely and still extremely tough to even meet some of the commitments and the bills and so on. But around this time, it's kind of expected, right? To meet some, and some people say, yes, I will pledge something and I'm still waiting, right? So it could be very tough. Sometimes it's rosy, sometimes it's good. You can cover all the bills. You can meet some of the commitments. In fact, today I was speaking to one of the individuals. I said to him, I say, man, can't give you all, I have to give you a piece. And those things do happen because this program is funded by people just like you, right? It's not funded by some ads and, that kind of thing. No. Funded by people just like you, given to the program, supporting it. So I didn't do the pledge program as I normally would end of last month. And then I went on the break. So you could imagine. So it could be tough sometimes. Sometimes, again, it's easy, right? Sometimes people say, yes, I would give you a little thing to keep the program going and something pop up. You know it goes, right? But this month has been very, very tough and still tough, but we continue the mission. That is what is important. Some months are very, very good, right? And that is something that is notable. And I know it goes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But it's what it is. You have to be able to manage. So not every bill you could pay in full. Some you might pay piece. All right? Some you might be able to pay a little portion. Some might be able to call and say, well, next month I go. You have to be able to manage it. I've been in this business out here for almost 11 years and months. And every August, it is normally very, very tough. August month to meet commitments and so on. But give thanks still, at the center of this program, God Almighty stands tall, right? And He will provide. And I've always seen that happen, right? He will provide. Today, a good friend, she's on the live, she called me today. She said, hey, Kem, check your partner in tongue. I said, I'll $100 there for you. Right? She's on the live and she's listening to me. Things will happen and it block a hole. It will help here and help there. Those things do happen. All right? Give thanks. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful night. I'll be back again tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the a.m. And tonight, again, I'm going to drink some bush, right? I'm not big on the Panadol thing. I don't really like it. The tablet. Kind of like the local stuff. Or drink a little bush. Maybe I do a little big time, just draw it and drink that. All right? Take it care. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, again, to continue the mission. All right?